What's up, the world? It's your boy Tommy Mav. I just came in because I wanted to speak on Lakers win and going 3-1 in the series. As I predicted, the series is going exactly like Memphis. I predicted it would. Like I said, they can try to add in the wrinkles, but those wrinkles only work until when they haven't seen the sets. But it just really comes down to how quickly the Lakers can diagnose and Ham and LeBron can kind of figure out how to dissect it. Once again, LeBron kind of started to dissect it towards the beginning of towards the end of the third quarter, and then at the beginning of the fourth quarter, he just started picking it apart. Once he started picking it apart, they switched it up again, and it's like the Warrior really just turned into Steph Curry, just happened to do everything. And Steph Curry, as good as he is, he was just dog tired. You can tell his shots were just hitting the front of the rim. Valiant effort. I I assume that's what you're gonna get from champions. You know what I mean? That's what the Warriors are. You know what I mean? They ain't gonna go down without a fight. And they gave the Lakers the best punch they can get. The reffing in that game was horrible, especially the first three quarters. Had the Lakers not just started hitting their shots, because the remedy to bad officiating is just making your shots. If you can't attack the rim, they're not gonna get. The Lakers realize they're not gonna give us anything in the rim, anything. They're not gonna give us any fouls. Okay, we got to make our shots, and the Lakers just started making their shots. And once the Lakers started making their shots, they were still giving the Warriors points on the other side, but the Lakers were just winning their shots. A couple weeks ago, I said Lonnie Walker fell out of rotation because he got hurt. It wasn't a thing about playing time. It was more so they couldn't really rely on him, because every time they started relying on him, Lonnie Walker would get hurt, and then he'd be out for 3 games. So it's like, okay, so how are we supposed to, get any type of rhythm with the guy when he's constantly in and out of the lineup? But I always liked Lonnie Walker. I always thought he was the talent, and I always thought he should have been utilized. But last night, people saying, well, Lonnie Walker, he was the difference, and he was the biggest difference. But everybody talks about the fact that Lonnie Walker had a good game, but once again, as I point out to people, nobody looks at the nuts and bolts. Everybody just looks at the result. Who's he making those shots on? Steph. Go back to what I said at the beginning of the beginning of the video. LeBron figured that out in the fourth quarter. Once he figured that out, you got a tired Steph Curry on Lonnie Walker, and Lonnie Walker was destroying him. And I'm not saying Lonnie Walker did his thing on defense, but LeBron put him in position to succeed. And this is the thing that I tell people that LeBron brings to the table that Michael Jordan never does. LeBron is like a MacGyver when it comes to playing players. That guy will get the best out of every single player on his roster. He doesn't care what. When you sit there, you're like, man, it seems like LeBron just got like 12 of the same type of players. Kind of like when you walk into an event, like I said, the MacGyver situation is like you got this. You take some tape, this, and this, and you turn it into this. Yes, it's a testament to Lonnie Walker's professionalism, his ability to stay healthy, all these things. That's 100% true. What LeBron said in the post thing. It takes a real professional to not play most of the playoffs and then come in and just don't miss a beat. That's great teamwork. But apart from that, LeBron put him in the best position to succeed. Same thing, you saw the same thing with Austin Reeves. Austin Reeves was struggling mightily at the beginning of the game. He couldn't make a shot. LeBron just kept putting, okay, get to your spot. I'll get you the ball. AD got it going, and started getting tired. Okay, I'll take it. Give AD some rest. He's tired. Let him get some rest, and I'll take it. And he did. AD got his rest. LeBron kept it from gashing open. And then the beginning of the fourth started. They were able to start with LeBron and AD, and the Warriors couldn't compete. I mean, they could compete. They just couldn't win. Even with the refs, in my opinion, just giving them the most random calls. They weren't calling the illegal screens, and I was like, here we go again, with them not calling illegal screen. It's funny to me that Steve Kerr was arguing about them flopping. Literally, he said he was arguing with a ref talking about Klay Thompson's arms were down. Literally, the replay before he was showing it, you can clearly see Klay's elbows way up here and out, and he was saying they were down at his waist. So, I mean, I told you, the Warriors could pretty much get called the illegal screen damn near every time they down there. They constantly step in front of people. They're not running any plays. They just step in front of people and stop. That is an illegal screen, and they do it all the time. And after a while, anybody with any common sense knows that if you're not, unless the game is rigged, like with that little Shrek, Tony Brothers, at some point they gotta start calling these plays, because these guys are whamming guys, because these guys are Steph Curry, them are running around picks 1,000 miles per hour. These guys are trying to stick with them, and then these other guys are just stepping. It's dangerous. They're just stepping out in front of people, trying to prevent them from following the shooter, and that is an illegal screen. You cannot do that. You can't step out in front of somebody. You're the one with the blocking foul or charge, or you're the one going to get called with the blocking. That's an offensive foul. And it's like they do it so much that I think the refs are like, we can't call it all the time. I think once it got the nut cutting time, they started calling it, because at this point, I think the whole thing was about keeping the spread. Once they got that spread, and it looked like they were going to keep that spread, and they just seemed like they ain't care no more. And in the end, they did. They met the spread. And Warriors. Steph played a great game. Klay played horribly. Like I told you before, Jordan Poole can't stay on the court. He's such a liability defensively, and offensively, he's in his head. So he can't get it. He can't stop anybody defensively, and offensively he's pressing. He's trying to get fouls. You're playing a good team. They're not gonna give you those. They're not gonna be jumping at you and diving and giving you those fouls. This man's shooting balls, kicking his foot behind him and stuff. It's like he's doing all of this to get fouls. And the truth of the matter is, the time he does it, sometimes he's already at the rim, but he's already in his own head, because I think he knows he's a liability defensively. He knows that he's killing the team, and he's trying to contribute in other ways, which is why I told people the first time, do not compare Draymond Green's importance to that team to Jordan Poole's. It's uncomparable. Draymond Green is the glue. Draymond is important to that team as Steph and Klay. Jordan Poole is not. I said this before. Draymond makes it so Jordan Poole can stay on the court. If Draymond's not covering for him, he is useless. And they can get someone else to score. The Gary Payton thing, it threw him off. You can tell at first. They didn't really know how to do that. They didn't know how to catch that pick and roll when they kept pulling Anthony Davis out. And so, because the Warriors was making the extra pass, it was extremely hard for the Lakers. But after a while, the Lakers just stopped collapsing. It's like the Lakers have a tendency to just double when there's no need to double. And then they're doubling down. You're not really helping. AD got it. You don't have to help him. Just let AD do his thing. They're not going to shoot it 9 out of 10 times. They're just trying to get AD to come out. Once AD come out, they try to attack the rim. If you stay down, you know what I'm saying? I know that's extremely hard against Steph. But everybody else, you need to just stay down. Draymond, all these other guys, just stay down. Don't go for the fake. Stay down. Force them to pass it, and they're gonna pass into a mistake. And towards the end of the game, they started doing it because the Lakers stopped going for it. LeBron once again. Nobody pays attention to these things. LeBron picked up Steph. When LeBron started picking up Steph stopped being able to penetrate. Once Steph stopped being able to penetrate, they had to pass it around the outside, and they're not the same team when Steph wasn't penetrating. And LeBron picked him up, and LeBron really did slow him down. Now, I don't know, he didn't shut him down, but he slowed him down. When LeBron was on him, I don't think he scored, but he was able to still get the ball back and still do things. So LeBron didn't shut him down, but when LeBron was on him, he couldn't score, and he definitely couldn't penetrate. He wasn't getting in the lane, and without his ability to get into the lane, they couldn't do the third, fourth, fifth passes. Now on these rebounds, they did get a couple tap outs, and then they got to the second, third pass, and they ended up hitting a shot. I told you guys after game 2 what they was gonna do to Clay. I said Clay I said they're gonna beat the hell out of him. He is dead tired halfway through the game because they got him guarding everybody. They're putting him in the ISO, and they've already said, okay, we're gonna tire Clay out, and then when the game's on the line, we're gonna start to go after Clay. We started to go after Steph. Once they put Lonnie Walker in, they couldn't hide Steph on defense no more. Brandon Wiggins, Draymond, we're gonna pull y'all away to the side. And Steph gonna have to guard him in the mid range, and Steph cannot guard him in the mid range. He can't guard him in general. But Steph was just kind of backing off, and LeBron was too tired. LeBron was just dead tired. So it was working on LeBron because LeBron just couldn't do anything. But Lonnie saved them because they moved it. They threw that wrinkle there, and then Steph had to cover Lonnie, and Lonnie is a good shooter. You know what I mean? That's something Vanderbilt wasn't giving you that Lonnie could give you. And since they wanted to go with that small ball lineup anyways, okay, we got you. Our small ball lineup is better than yours. Gary Payton all we're gonna do is put another athletic guy in Lonnie Walker. And we're gonna see how well y'all do with our two big small balls and LeBron and AD, because we can still go inside and still go out of perimeters. AD masterful. You see AD out there ISO. I mean, nobody even thinks about how ridiculous this is. ISO on Steph Curry with the game on the line. This man was ISO with Steph Curry, a 7-footer. Stayed in front of him. This man Steph Curry couldn't get by him. Steph Curry could get a shot up. I mean, Anthony Davis is ridiculous when it comes to discipline, ability to you can tell this man is a student. Like when you talk about understand, this man knew every single thing Steph was gonna do. This man waited on it. Wait. This man like knew. It's like he knew what Steph was gonna do before he did it. That is a student of the game. That's the guy who reads the scouting report. No, you don't really need to read the scouting report on Steph because you probably know it like the back of your hand. But still, I mean, that is a wrinkle most people ain't even gonna really pay attention to because it's such a good it's like watching, you know what I'm saying, it's like seeing something. You ever go somewhere and you see something on television and you turn around afterwards and you see it in real life and it looks better than it did when you just saw it on television? Like, I don't know if you're talking about like a fireworks show or something like that. It's like you see it on television, it just doesn't give it the same. It's like Anthony Davis has always been a great defender. You know what I mean? Everybody knows it. But it is one thing to see him within the construct of a team defense and to see him one-on-one. And to see him one-on-one with Steph, I mean, that was amazing for a 7-footer to be able to guard one of the best guard in the league, hands down. When you're talking about ability to shoot the three, the ability to take you off the dribble, left in the playoffs. I mean, he is clearly the best point guard left in the playoffs, and to see a 7-footer do that show, okay, y'all can go to y'all small ball. And the problem with the small ball wasn't Anthony Davis. That's the funniest part. Anthony Davis wasn't even the weak link. The funniest part was the weak link in that small ball lineup was LeBron. Quiet as it kept. LeBron kept helping down. It wasn't that he wasn't like the game 2 when he wasn't. I mean, was it game 3 when he wasn't? I think it was game 2 when he wasn't rotating. This time, LeBron was just helping when he wasn't needed. I think that wrinkle threw him off. So LeBron started helping down, coming down and helping when when Steph penetrated. And a lot of 9, 10 times LeBron was making the right read. He was stepping and he was getting there. But when LeBron came over to help, nobody was there to. But it's almost impossible to ask anybody to rotate there because the guy's way off in the corner. So LeBron is helping down and he's stepping to the player, which is a smart thing because a lot of times they were reversing on AD, and you don't want AD to get in foul trouble, right? So you don't want AD taking all those plays where he ends up in foul trouble and you were without him. So LeBron kept helping down, and nobody could really rotate to the corner, and so they kept making a second, third, fourth pass. LeBron just wasn't paying attention to the pass. He just was going all out for the shot, and then boop, they pass it behind him and lay up. So I'm not saying LeBron wasn't rotating. He was rotating. His problem was he was helping down a lot of times, and he wasn't looking for the pass. He wasn't paying attention to the pass. If you're gonna be coming down and helping off your man like that, you gotta pay attention to the pass. You gotta cut off that pass. You gotta cut off the baseline. He wasn't. He just kept going for the fake, and every time he would go for fake, they pass it, bang, layup. So they were attacking when LeBron came to help, and it's a smart wrinkle the boys put in, but it only worked until LeBron was like bumping. I'm gonna go to the center. Now you can switch it, put AD out on the perimeter, which he can do, which is amazing as a 7-footer, but he can do that. LeBron became the rim protector because he's smarter and he knows the Warriors better, and it slowed them down. They couldn't score because LeBron, you try to do that pick with LeBron and Steph. That's not the same thing as AD and Steph. As good as AD is on the perimeter, he is not as smart as LeBron. He doesn't have the experience LeBron has. So LeBron knows I ain't gotta be that close to Steph. AD kept doing that thing where he would step up, and he's so tall that, you know what I'm saying, he kind of cuts off the basket. But when you have such a quick release like Steph does have, he just take that step back and he just get it up. So AD has to respect every movement. Now he's doing that. He's going around AD and he's passing. But LeBron ain't worried about it. LeBron's quick and fast enough to cut Steph off, and LeBron doesn't do what normal rim protectors do. LeBron is fast, he's quick, and he can jump. So he doesn't need to cut you off. He doesn't need to cut you off because once you get by him, you still have to worry about it. So now he's behind you. Now you got to make that decision because you have no idea what LeBron is. So now he's behind you. You got this guy covered, this guy covered. You don't know where to release the ball because you don't know what LeBron is. And now by the time you decide, I'm just gonna go up, LeBron's there. Block. It's such a wrinkle he provided, and it's like I told you, LeBron can be whatever you need him to be at any time. And at that point, they needed a rim protector. Okay, I got y'all. We need a point guard, a point guard. This defense is giving us fits. We need a point guard. Okay, LeBron, you go to point guard. That is a luxury you cannot do with Kevin Durant. You cannot do with Giannis. You cannot do with Joel Embiid. You cannot do that with Jokic. You cannot do that with Luka. You can kind of do it with, but Luka, you can't make Luka a rim protector. Him and Jokic are liability defensively. Joel Embiid can't run the point. KD can't. We can't do it to the extent that LeBron can. The closest one is KD. And maybe Kawhi, but Kawhi can't run the point. I mean, really it's just KD and LeBron. KD can run an offense, not to the extent that LeBron can, which is why I rated that video a couple weeks ago that LeBron is still the best basketball player in the world. And the reason why I say that is because of the experience that he has and his ability to still do what he does at his age is crazy. He is clearly not the same LeBron. He's not moving the same. He's not have the same explosion. He just doesn't look like the same LeBron. But to see him doing what he's doing with those limitations is crazy to see. I also want to talk about Bronny James. He went to USC. But I don't know if it's LeBron's influence of playing with good players or what, but I think it's dumb. I don't think Bronny's gonna. I mean, they already got a kid on that team named Boogie something. He's a great point guard. You got Isaiah Collier, who's the number one recruit in the country. You can't play. You're not gonna play with three guards. Okay. He's not. If his idea is that LeBron that he wants Bronny James to leave after year one, I don't know why you would choose USC. He could have went to Oregon where he would have been a starting point guard. He would have had the ball in his hands. I do not understand. This is for the life of me. I do not understand Bronny James's ideas of anything he chooses. The Sierra Canyon thing didn't make a lot of sense. I just think that Bronny James is used to playing with good players. And so LeBron is telling Bronny James things that he learned later on in his career, but he's forgetting the things that he had to learn early in his career. Right? Yes, it's easy for LeBron now to say, oh, make sure you play with good players. Well, yeah, but you got to get good individually first to be able to be impactful with the good players you have. Bronny James is not impactful a lot of times. He tends to disappear in games because he tends to give the ball to someone else. And nobody, I don't give a crap. If his end game is to play in the NBA, ain't nobody going to be drafting Bronny James unless he shows he can run an offense. I don't see how going to USC with Isaiah Collier is going to teach that. It seems like a very stupid decision. They already have a point guard that can score. And they're bringing Isaiah Collier in to play point. So what are you going to be there doing? You going to be a six man? You think you're going to be a draft pick as a six man? It makes no sense. The mindset behind why you would choose that school. It reminds me of when I came back from college and I was talking to some of my family and friends who they had a guy from his school that was talking about going to play, and he was like, "Oh yeah," he said he's gonna go up there and play at UF with you, and I remember thinking in my mind that makes no sense. And they're like, well, no, he's a good player. I said, it's not because he's not a good player. I said, it doesn't make any sense, the style of player he is, why he would choose to go there. They don't run the ball like that because he was a running back. And I was like, they don't really run the ball like that. When I was there with Coach Meyer, and we didn't run the ball like that. So it didn't make a lot of sense for me why he would choose that. I'm like, that makes no sense. Why not choose some place that you can go? You know what I'm saying? That's going to utilize your skill set. Well, he grew up, his favorite team was the University of Florida. But that's dumb. You don't choose a team because growing up it was your favorite team to play for. You choose a team because it is what is best for your career. And I feel like Bronny chose USC because it is a place he wanted to stay in California. That is a dumb reason to choose a team if your end goal is to make it to the NBA. Every year you stay is like it's like 4th, 5th graduates in college when it comes to a lot of employees don't want a person that's taking 5, 6 years to graduate. It shows that the person is not really centered and focused on a goal. They're just kind of doing a bunch of different things, which is why they have to take part-time here, part-time there, part-time here, part-time there. It seems like you're not singularly focused on your career. You're just kind of all over the place. It's the same when it comes to basketball. It's like they don't want these guys who are 4th, 2nd, 3rd year guys, because in their mind it's like you could be I've already drafted a guy who's probably younger than you, you know what I mean, who's going to utilize, who's going to develop in the NBA while you're in college. So why in the world would I take a chance on a guy who's older and still not as talented as the young player? So to me, the USC thing was a head scratcher. I didn't understand it. Isaiah Collier is a me-centered player. I saw him in that McDonald's All-American. That dude is fine with everybody getting there as long as he gets his first. And you cannot play point guard trying to get yours first, because your job is to put everybody else in a position to succeed. And that dude seems like he only cares about getting himself in a position to succeed. Guy's a point guard and he's leading and he's shooting there. He shoots everything he gets his hand on. So why you would choose to go there, I don't understand it. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. It's like when he played with Amari Bailey. It's like these guys are singularly focused on getting to the NBA, whether it be hook or crook, and you're aiding and abetting that. And to me, you're underutilizing your talent. To me, it seemed like he just wanted to go to USC. Because he wanted to play in California, and to me, that's just dumb. Because I think inevitably they'll look back at the decision and think it was a stupid one. Why would you do that? It's like Sharif O'Neal when he chose UCLA. It's like, yeah, you might want to stay in California, but a lot of people want to stay in California. And then Amari Bailey, he chose UCLA. How did that work out for him? They have a lot of these veterans on that team. And the veterans on that team, they want to play. And the difference between being a freshman and a senior is the senior has way more pull on that staff because he's been with those guys longer than the freshman does. And these guys are rooting for them, and they've been training them, and they have a vested interest in them succeeding, and they will do everything in their power to make sure that person succeeds because of the loyalty factor. And the guy Boogie, whatever, the guy averaged almost 18 points last year. You bringing him, he's there. You bringing in Isaiah Collier. Where's Ronnie gonna fit? Not to mention, Isaiah Collier is not even a great defensive player. I don't really understand. You can choose. Like I said before, if your mindset is that you want to stay in California, that's fine. But you want do what's best for your team. Do what's best for your career. And playing for USC as a freshman, coming in, you're not gonna start. Why risk it? Why even deal with it? He would have went to Oregon. They got a top 25 center. They got a top 25 forward. They needed a point guard. He could have came in, and Oregon would have been good. Ohio State, they ain't that great. But Oregon, I don't understand. I would have just went to Oregon. He already signed with Nike. To me, it's just kind of dumb. It really does seem kind of dumb to go to USC, who's not even a perennially good basketball team. They don't have no type of tradition. They don't have ain't nobody breaking down the walls to get to USC, and you're not gonna change the culture in 1 year. Unless you stay. And like I told you, that's a double-edged sword there. If LeBron wasn't advising him, he should have been, because that's just a dumb decision to go to USC. USC was just not a good fit for him. I don't really understand why they did it. But I just want to come in and comment on that. Please, if you're not subscribed, take the time to subscribe and thumbs it up if you like it. And please comment. All right, y'all. Peace.